We're live?
Yes. Hello, everybody. Hey, Tom.
Welcome. I didn't hear the start of the show. Do we have our normal start?
Well, we don't. Today we're on Zoom. We're both on Zoom. Yes.
So we missed the part that, and now for another exciting episode of As the River Churns.
Yes.
We missed that part, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
But thank you for telling it to us. That was just as exciting.
Yes, I'm sure you were just waiting all day for that, Lisa.
Oh.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to my home. For those of you that didn't know, I am quarantining, and how exciting it is. Let me just tell you. For those of you that have had to do this before, and I know a lot of you have, I feel your pain. This has not been as fun as I thought it might be. So, been having a lot of fun at home here, working from home. Do feel like I'm more productive, Lisa. I've harassed you a lot over the last several days. So, I feel like I'm more productive this way for sure. But in case you all didn't know, we had a, let's see, how should I say this? Well, I'll just tell you this way. My daughter's boyfriend has tested positive for COVID. And so that put us all on quarantine. Now, the good news is none of us have tested positive for COVID at this point. And I really do think that the vaccinations that we got a month ago really helped with that. And so, but, just to err on the side of caution, I decided to go ahead and quarantine from home. And so, like I said, my staff can't wait for me to come back because I've just been harassing them from home on the phone. And they're like, oh, my gosh, we talk to you more when you're home than when you're at work. And that's probably not unusual because I'm finding ways to be able to stay connected with the team. And I do want to say, I know we're going to talk about this, Lisa, but I really, really missed being able to see all the residents on Tuesday for the vaccination clinic. I was really looking forward to that. And so now maybe the residents weren't as looking forward to it as I was, but I was really looking forward to it. And so just want to tell you I missed you all, and I was thinking about you all on Tuesday when you were doing the vaccinations. And Lisa, I know we're going to talk about it, but boy, I don't think that could have gone any better, could it?
No, it went great. So we
had
a good
week.
It did too. The residents did miss you. So just know that for sure. I had almost every one of them say, "Where's Tom?" And then they found out about what had happened, and they all were thinking of you and praying for you as well, that everybody would stay healthy. So. Well,
thank you. I appreciate that. And so far we have. So that's been really good. I'm really happy about that. So hopefully you all are going to see me, unless something changes. You'll see me about the middle of the week, this coming week. I'll be back. Matter of fact, Lisa, I'll be back in time, hopefully, for the next Churns show, which will be on Wednesday. And
yes.
That's going to be pretty exciting because I think you and I are going to start rolling out some of the plan, I think, for, our reopening. And it's going to be a gradual thing. We're going to start out fairly slow, but I'm excited. I'm really excited about this. By next Wednesday, we'll have a week underneath of us with the second vaccine, and really we'll only have another week or so after that before we should become fully effective at that point as far as being preventative against coronavirus. So, man, it's just nice to be able to say those words. And so I think it's a lot of exciting times ahead. I'm hoping that we are now past some of the scare that we've been in for the last 11 months. I mean, we're coming up on 12 months, Lisa. You and I were talking about this the other day. Holy smokes.
Yep, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, well, let's get into the show. We got to start with our trivia question.
Yes.
I don't know what the prize is today. What is the prize today, Lisa?
Well, it is our favorite prize. It would be a bottle of wine, 2014 California Merlot. So, and I did bring myself a glass today, just in case the show gets a little dicey with our Zoom technology here. So I'm prepared just in case. So the winner might have one glass from the wine bottle. We're not sure yet. So we'll see how the show goes. Tom, did we forget to let Ken know about the show?
I think we told him.
Well, maybe he'll join us later.
Well, maybe, yes,
Okay.
I'm hoping he will.
Okay. But we'll see. Maybe he'll join us later. I hope so.
He might be just waiting for a grand entrance. You know Ken, so.
Well, he could be. He could be. It would not be a show without him, so.
That is for sure, so.
Okay, so the trivia question today is from Dick Witt, and the prize today, of course, is the bottle of wine. And you're going to call Michelle if you know the answer to this question. And Michelle's number is 336-389-4103. And the question is, what U.S. state has a town where Wi-Fi is not allowed?
Ooh.
I did not know there was a town like this, or a
I
state.
wouldn't think there would be either.
Okay.
Is that the same town without Christmas?
It is not. So the question, one more time, what U.S. state has a town where Wi-Fi is not allowed? And if you name the town, that's just an extra bonus. You don't get any more wine. It's just for pure knowledge. So go ahead. The line is open. 336-389-4103.
You know, it might be Colfax, North Carolina, Lisa, as the answer, because, sometimes the internet doesn't work very well, and I wonder sometimes if the Wi-Fi just isn't really hooked up in town.
I think that's just Spectrum.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. Right. Yes, that would make sense, wouldn't it? That would absolutely make sense.
Yes, it would.
Okay. Well, while we wait to see if we have a winner there, I guess we ought to go over the statistics for today. So I have to admit, it's a little weird doing this from home, but I'm going to give it a shot here. So it's been 9 days since we last had our last show, Lisa. We had it Wednesday last week. So it's been 9 days. That's kind of hard to believe. But in the last 9 days, and remember, we get all of our statistics from the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services website, their dashboard. So in the last 9 days, we have had a total of 495,748 tests done for COVID. That is an average of 55,000 tests a day. So still pretty high on the testing at this point. Out of that 495,748, we've had 38,287 positive tests. So that is 7.7%. Wow. We have really started to see that percentage go down. And I don't know about you, but it feels good to just start to say that we're starting to see that percentage go down. Just as a comparison, last week, when we were talking about it on our show, we were 10.4% for the previous week. So that's a huge drop from last week to this week. And so I'm really excited about that. I'm sure that most of you are going to be happy about that as well. At least I hope you all are, for that matter. Other good news, our hospitalizations dropped again this week. They were 2,706 last Wednesday when we reported. This week we're at 2,151. So that's 555 less than what we were last week. So again, it's nice to see the hospitals lowering their census. We're seeing through the state, they have a designation for each county now, whether they're orange or red, and red is, just means it's high impact, and we're starting to see where before we were almost at, I want to say, Lisa, we were at 97 of our 100 counties were in the red several weeks ago. Now it's starting to be turning back the other way, and I think we only have about 65 now that are actually in the red, and so we're starting to come back the other way, which is really, really, really great. Unfortunately, the one statistic that is not good is the number of deaths. We have seen an increase in that in the last 9 days, as you might expect. Last week, we were at 9,578. This week, as of today, we crested over the 10,000 mark for North Carolinians that have passed away due to COVID. We're at 10,376. Unfortunately, that's 798 new deaths since last week. So I hope that trend will start going the other way at some point here soon. Then when we look at nursing homes, retirement, residential care facilities, the numbers for that, The total positive cases since March are 47,394 in nursing homes and retirement communities like ours. That's 5.8% of the total number of positive cases, by the way, which is 814,594. So that's the same as where we were last week. And deaths, we had 4,591 deaths in nursing homes and retirement communities compared to a total of 10,376. That's 44.2%. And that's pretty much in line with where we were last week as well. The other good news that that's coming out is, for the last several weeks, Lisa, we have seen the number of nursing homes that have had outbreaks just keep flying up. It got to a crescendo last week of 713 communities. These are retirement communities and nursing homes that had were in outbreak status. I'm pleased to tell you that number is finally starting to look like it's going the other way. We're at 678 as of today, so that's a drop of 35, which is fantastic. And then the other really good news is, I've been really kind of stuck on this statistic, and I like this one about looking at the cases per 100,000 residents in the last 14 days. It's a rolling average, or a rolling number. And, the last couple of weeks, we started to see that number started to drop for each of the counties. Or, it's funny, you could see it kind of level off, and then it started dropping, which is good. We want it to drop. But it dropped again this week, and it dropped big time this week. Mecklenburg went from 778 cases per 100,000 residents to 633. It's 145, the difference of 145. Wake went from 778 to 589, difference of 189. Forsyth went from 792 to 705, that's a drop of 87. And Guilford went from 797 last week to 628 this week. So that's 169 difference. So it's nice to see our county starting to really kind of go the other way and start dropping down. So I'm really encouraged by that statistic. And then probably the last thing that I've been kind of tracking on the North Carolina site is the vaccinations. This is their new area that they have added just within the last really month and a half here. And so far, according to this website, North Carolina has administered 1,631,488 vaccinations. So I just did a quick calculation, and I know this isn't exactly right, but when you do that, 1,631,000 divided into the number of the population for North Carolina, it comes out to about 15%. So that includes first and second vaccinations, so that's not quite 15%, but still, the nice thing is we're starting to see they're making some progress with getting North Carolinians vaccinated for those that want to get vaccinated. So that's really good. Here in Guilford County, that number is 46,000 have had their first vaccination. 19,423 have had the second vaccination. So that's really good. And I was just looking at the total administered between last week and this week. The state has gone up almost 500,000 vaccinations. So they're ramping up, which is really good. Matter of fact, they're ramping up so well, I think that they're not getting now enough vaccination of the actual vaccination itself, vaccine, I should say. They're not getting it out into the system fast enough now to keep up with the people that are wanting the shot. So, and that's a good thing and a bad thing. That just means that there are people out there waiting, which is not so good that they're waiting, but there's a lot of people that want it. And so hopefully they can kind of speed up that process. And I'm sure that Pfizer and Moderna are doing their best to ramp up their production as much as possible so that we can keep this going. But I really think, other than, the amount of deaths that we've had, that we knew would go up. I mean, we were kind of warned by the experts that would be the last statistic that would get really bad before it gets better. Everything else would start to look good. So I really think we're kind of going down the other way. And so I'm encouraged. I really want that to be the case for all of us, because we need to get past this, right? I mean, we're all vaccinated here now at River Landing, but the outside of River Landing, there's still a lot of people that need to be vaccinated. There's still a lot to be done. There's still people that are catching COVID, as we know. And I have firsthand experience of that now, so I can see that. So, Lisa, I think that's it from the actual statistics itself. There's other things I think that we want to talk about, and maybe this is a good time to get into. Well, we'll get into the vaccine clinic in a second. Some other good news is that we did our weekly testing on our skilled nursing residents and staff this week, and I'm happy to tell you we found this out. I guess we heard this yesterday morning, Lisa, if I'm not mistaken, that. Yes. That everybody was negative this week. So, hallelujah, thank the Lord, that's really great. We're hoping that we're really starting a trend towards seeing that really trend to being, really no cases. And we know with the vaccine clinic now, Lisa, that 98% of our residents have had at least the first vaccination, and probably 97% of the 98% have had the second one at this point. So, we're starting to rock now. I mean, I hope you all kind of feel the same way. I'm feeling very, I don't know the right word, encouraged and protected, I guess is the words that come to mind at this point. So I don't know if you have anything you want to share about that, Lisa.
Well, one nice thing with it, too, is now that our county is under the 10%, they only have to test once a week. So all that was just positive this week. And, it's a challenge to... as a staff member and a resident to have to be tested twice a week, it's a lot on a person. They literally would get tested one day and 2 days later tested again, and sometimes the results weren't even back from the first one. So it's hard to continually be tested, and it's a challenge. So it's nice to be able to know once a week, getting tested, and we get our results, and it's just good to have no positives this week.
Lisa, if we can get the county percentage down below 5% at some point and it stays there for several weeks, we can actually move testing to once a month instead of once a week. And so, our staff have been through a lot. But the staff over in the healthcare center, I'm really what I'm talking about now. They've been through a lot. And so, if we could get this testing down to where it's just once every month, that would be really great for them, because it's, I don't think people realize how much time we invest in just doing these tests. And it's not just the time, it's the money too. I mean, these tests aren't free. We have to pay for these tests. So, being able to go down to once a week is huge. If we can make that next step, hopefully at some point here in the near future, to go down to once a month, that would even be a bigger hallelujah for our staff and for our residents, like you said, in the healthcare center. So,
absolutely.
Lisa, I also wanted to share that we have, I had mentioned that our residents are about 98% of our residents have received at least the first shot, and like I said, 97% have had the second one as well. We had a nice increase in staff members that got their first vaccine shot this go around. I want to say we picked up about 50 staff members that decided to get it this time.
We did.
Which took our percentages up really nicely. I mean, we still struggle a little bit, I think, as the hospitals are and other nursing homes with trying to get the nursing staffs to be able to take the vaccines. But we're approaching 50% on the nursing side, which honestly is really good, because we were probably closer to 25% when we started this thing. So we've made a nice jump there. And we'll continue to work on trying to get our nursing staff, and again, this is just the nursing staff at this point, up to as close as we can to 100% like the residents. I'm really encouraged about the independent living staff, though. We are at 73% that have had at least their first vaccine now. That's a huge jump from where we were before. I want to say, Lisa, we thought we were around 55 to 58, something like that. So we've made another huge jump there, and so I'm really encouraged by that. That's really going to help us with, again, just trying to have this protective bubble that we keep talking about here for the River Landing residents and for the staff. So, and Lisa, you know this better than anybody. We vaccinated not just a lot of residents and staff this time. We vaccinated a lot of our contract vendors, partners. people that move residents into the community, people that provide classes for our residents, activity classes. It's all caregivers. We had all kinds of folks, therapists, everybody that we could think of that we tried to get included in this vaccine clinic. With the idea again that the more people that we have vaccinated that are on our property, the less possibility and chance for transmission of this coronavirus. So I think we're really successful, and we had quite a few staff members that brought family members in, their household family members, to get vaccinated as well, which, it did a couple things, I think. I think it encouraged and got more of our staff members to get the vaccine because their family members were getting it. And I also think, it was a good thing for our staff. I mean, Lisa, you and I have heard from a lot of our staff members how appreciative they are that we were able to get their household, their parents or their brothers and sisters or whatever in and be able to get this shot. And because, a lot of these folks would be way down the line, probably wouldn't be getting it till this summer at best at this point. So, and if we can protect their household, then there's less chance that they're going to get it and bring it in here, and also more of a chance for them to be able to come to work on a daily basis, which, hello, we need our staff members to show up.
Yep, for sure. Just limiting that exposure.
So I think it really turned out to be a really great event. CBS just was singing our praises about the organization on the event. Matter of fact, the head person for CBS that was here both times told us that if there was a way that he could bottle us up and take us with him on these vaccination clinics, he would do that, because we have really had the most organized one he's ever been to and ever been a part of. And just as an example, he shared with one of our staff members that they had gone through a nursing facility here in Greensboro. I won't mention which one, but 180 vaccines, which, was about, 18% of the ones that we did, right?
Right.
180. They started at 10 o'clock in the morning and didn't get done until 9 o'clock that night. And, and it just wasn't organized. So, I think, we just did it in typical river landing style. We just had it well thought out, and even though we didn't quite know what we were doing, we had some general idea what we thought would be best, and it really worked out, Lisa. I don't know. I wasn't there the whole time, so I only can go on what I heard, but maybe you can share a couple minutes about that.
So the clinic went great. On Tuesday, that was our biggest day. We did a little over 500 people in one day. It was all of our residents.
Wow.
It was amazing. And Sean, he was the CVS coordinator, and he said, I don't know how we did it, but we did it in probably, I guess, right around 6 hours, 6.5 hours. So, I mean, that was pretty good. And residents, just thank you very much for your patience through that. Just depending on times that you came down, you may have had to wait a few minutes, but the line moved so smooth. Tom, we had chairs this time, so people could sit in chairs. So we improved even on our last clinic, I think. We tried to think of all those extra little things. So went very
Lisa,
well.
I was just going to say, Lisa, the one thing about the chairs, we thought about doing chairs on the first one, remember? We had talked about that. And the reason we didn't is because, there was more of a potential for transmission of COVID because nobody was protected on the first vaccine.
Right.
And so that's why we chose not to do the chairs on the first one. But with this one being everybody walking through that door is already 70% protected at that point, we felt like the risk was so much less that it was okay to go ahead and put the chairs out. And it sounds like it went well.
Yes, that was a huge help. So absolutely. And just as a reminder, had a lot of folks after getting their second vaccine that said, so now we're good, right? So just as a reminder, we're not 95% yet. That comes about 2 weeks after your second vaccine. So just keep that in mind. We're not fully yet. So that's just a good reminder to us. It still means we follow the 3 W's. None of that has changed yet. So. And as Tom mentioned, we're working on a reopening plan, which we'll roll out more of that next week. So just hang in there with us. We're still using caution, okay?
And Lisa, we found out that for those roughly 125 folks that got the first vaccine this week, that they'll come back, CVS will come back on Wednesday, March 10th to give them their second shots. Now, that's for most of our residents and staff, we're done, but at least for now. But we've got those folks March 10th. They'll be coming back for that, I believe. Is that not correct?
Yes, and that'll just be a couple-hour clinic, so that won't take much time at all.
So, Lisa, we've been given some good information that the CDC is working on their guidelines. We heard something really positive that we're looking into a little bit more, but it seems like those folks that get the vaccine, after about 2 weeks to almost 3 weeks, after you get your second shot, you become fully, fully immunized at that point. There's still a small chance that you can get it, 5%, but we know that even if it's 5%, that the shot should protect you from getting serious symptoms from it as well. So that's all really, really good. CDC's come out and said that people that have had the full vaccine or that are fully immunized, even if they come into contact with a COVID positive person, that they shouldn't have to quarantine. So we're still trying to figure out exactly what that means for us as a community, but we take that as a very positive sign that we can kind of move forward. Maybe our days of quarantining people, if you've been vaccinated, might be over, or maybe it's a shortened, very, very shortened quarantine, or maybe it's just something to look for some obvious symptoms instead of quarantining. And if you have symptoms of any kind, that you just don't go out in public or something. But, Lisa, I think that's going to be, something we're going to keep looking into. But we're pretty excited about that with the CDC guidelines coming out.
Yep, that's a positive change for us. So, absolutely. Let's see. Tom, we have some good news about the healthcare administrator. Yeah.
So I think you might all remember that I mentioned that Kat Banks, our healthcare administrator over the last 2 years, has a family situation that has required her to relinquish her responsibilities as our healthcare administrator. She's going to hang in there with us until we get a replacement. Well, I'm happy to tell you we have hired a replacement. Her name is Megan Brown. And Megan hails from Walnut Cove, North Carolina, where she lives with her husband. And get this, 5 children. Megan is a 14-year professional. What we really like about Megan, besides having a great personality, is that Megan got her start as a CNA and kind of grew up through the clinical side, going up to being a director of nursing. And she got her healthcare administrator's license, and so she switched from DON to healthcare administrator and has been doing that for the last several years. She's going to be a powerhouse for us, Lisa. She's got a lot of experience from both the clinical side and from the administrative side, and so we just thank the good Lord that He brought her to us, and we're very excited. She's going to start March 15th, and so we'll get her kind of acclimated when she gets in here, but I think it's going to be great. She's a good gal, so I think we're going to be great. And we are going to try and keep Kat on. We're going to have a kind of more flexible role for her within the community and within the organization too. Kat can help us with our CNA training program, which we hope to get started here again soon. Kat has that experience of teaching that class, so we're hoping that she can help us with that and maybe do some staff development for us and some orientation for new staff members and some different things like that could be a little bit more flexible for her. But Lisa, we're really excited. She's going to be a great addition to our family.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, one last thing. The dining team, they did a great job this week. You all know we had 3 days of special buffets in the bistro and also the clubhouse. All we've been getting is super emails and the comment cards and all of that. So thank you for taking the time to do that. The dining team really appreciated the support on that. We had a lot of good comfort foods, Tom, and I think you missed all of them.
I was bummed. I heard the taco salads were like awesome, and I love taco salads.
It was the best. Yes. Yep.
How about the chicken? Did the chicken go over well?
Chicken went over well too. I didn't try the chicken. I had the taco salad. They were both on the same day.
Of course.
I know.
If I'd have been there, I probably would have done a chicken taco salad.
That would work. Oh. So everybody knows the restaurants are back to what they were before. I can't say normal because it's not normal yet. So we're working on getting back to normal, but we're back to you can make reservations with your household, but changes will be coming soon, right, Tom?
Yeah. And I don't think it's wrong to go ahead and mention this, Lisa. We can't start Monday, but I think by the following Monday we can go back to where we were before, which is folks being able to eat together. If you want to eat with another couple or other people. I think we can go back to where we were before we hit Christmas and we had all of that, the outbreak status when we changed all that. So that'll be the 22nd, I think, of February. That Monday, we're going to start going back to that. So not next week. Don't start next week. Right. But the week after that, we should be good. I think we can go ahead and start that again.
Yep. And then we'll just keep expanding from there. So just give us time. We'll get there.
There we go.
Okay.
Well, I think Ken's arrived. Didn't Ken arrive?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry I'm late. My gosh, my computer did not work.
Ken.
And so I had to borrow my cousin Sherman's computer. He's a computer nerd. Ken? And thankfully he had a computer. And so here I am. Sorry, I'm late.
Just a minute.
Ken, there's something wrong with your computer.
What do you mean?
Well, you look utterly disgusting at the moment.
Well, that's not a very nice thing to say. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, your face. Well, gosh, how do we say this and be nice, Lisa? Your face is a cow.
You're a cow.
Okay, hold on. So I don't have my settings so that I can see myself. Let me check. Let me look here. Okay.
You might want to get a...
Holy cow! What is... Holy cow!
Yeah.
What is this? Wait. You don't think this is a side effect of the vaccine, do you?
It could be. It could be.
No, but, you may have gone out and done a little too much cow tipping the other night. Because it looks like it's rubbed off.
Oh, this is awful. I'm the chaplain. I mean, people are going to think I'm horny. That's terrible. That is absolutely terrible.
They might not think you're horny, but they might have known that you got a little bit of the devil in you, and I think it's just showing itself now.
Okay, well, this is. Surely I can fix this. Okay, I can fix this. I have no idea. I'm going to try some things and just see if I can. Oh my God! Oh, Wilbur!
That's a horse of a different color there. Let me tell you.
But I want to point out it's a horse head and not the other part of the horse. Thank you very much.
Well, the head might be covering what is considered the other part of the horse.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me try something else. Oh,
it's Shrek.
I'm Shrek. Okay, donkey. I don't know how to fix this. Do y'all know how to fix this?
No, but I like the other one better because you looked a little long in the face.
Oh, long in the face. Oh, this is awful. This is absolutely awful. Okay. Oh,
meow,
meow. I really don't know what I'm doing. It's not even my computer. So,
the kitty might want to see the cow and get a little milk.
Oh, yeah, maybe so. Oh, look, Lisa has started pouring wine.
She's not pouring it. She's just pouring it down her throat, I think.
I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what we're doing.
I'm sorry. I guess we can just go on. I want to assure everybody I'm not a cat.
Okay.
Well, if you have to scratch during the questions, just try and keep it quiet, will you please?
Oh.
Oh, Lisa, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here, Lisa?
Well, we have questions. I don't know now. So
I have so many questions.
That you do.
I think our audience does too right now. They have a lot of questions of what happened to the show.
Hey, one of the questions is you probably have it, and I'll answer for you. The litter box is right outside the door, Ken. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Lisa, let's get to the questions.
Okay, first question. Since we have had the second vaccine, can we stop wearing our masks?
Not if you're named Ken.
I've got my mask.
Okay, so the answer, of course,
no,
is no.
Lisa, we know the answer to that. We're not there yet.
No, wear
not
your
there.
mask.
We need to keep wearing them.
Yes. Okay, can you clarify when can I get a meal delivered to me? Do I have to, oh boy, do I have to just be on quarantine? So no, if you're sick or in quarantine, you can get your meal delivered. We talked about on last week's show that at some point, when we start doing some of the reopening, we're also going to add delivery for convenience. But right now, it is for sick and quarantine. So thank you for that clarification.
That's good.
Okay. Next one. Has anything changed yet since we've gotten our second vaccine? So as we mentioned before, no changes yet, but we're working on the reopening plan, and we'll talk about that next week on the show, and we'll go from there. So we're aiming for March 1st for most things, right, Tom?
Yeah, we are. As I mentioned, the one that we're going to pull out a little earlier than that, it will be the dining change. And there'll be more dining changes, I think, as of March 1st. But, that one's more of just going back to what we had, from a month and a half ago. So, and I know residents are anxious to start eating with other residents again.
Yes.
So I think, we're going to be, by March 22nd, that's 2 weeks after our second shots. I think we can go ahead and go back to that and give that a shot.
Sounds good.
I hope we have tuna.
It'll be salmon for you, big boy.
I'm craving fish.
Okay. This next question, it might apply to Ken here. I'm not sure. I had a reaction to the vaccine. I had chills, fever, and felt like I had the flu. Was that normal? And everyone experienced different side effects. Like we can see Ken right now. Look at his side effects. So everybody did have different side effects, but some had a fever, chills, nausea, fatigue, aches and pains. So that was definitely normal. So don't feel like you were abnormal in that. Symptoms went from minor to a sore arm up to a little more major of having a temperature and fever and those kind of things. So absolutely normal. Now, Ken, yours is not normal.
I had an impulse to lick my backside.
Okay, so that was the last question I had. I need some more wine. I need some more. More, please.
Hey, Ken, resist that impulse, will you?
I wouldn't do it on Zoom.
I hope not.
Oh boy. Okay. So we're to the part where Ken comes in. So is Ken here today?
I'm already here.
Oh.
Well, I do have some things that were sent to me by resident Alan Campbell.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Yeah. And I would normally show them on the screen, but I don't have that capacity. Yeah. Here's the first. It says, "My neighbor just banged on the wall at 3:30 a.m. Can you believe that? Lucky I was still up playing music. He banged and shouted, 'Can we have a little respect, please?' So I shouted back, 'I'm not a big Aretha Franklin fan, but okay, this one's for you.'"
Oh my gosh.
That's good. I like that.
Hey, Homer would like this one, I think.
Okay.
"There was a safety meeting at work today. They asked me, 'What steps would you take in the event of a fire?' My answer was really big ones. But I don't know that that's the correct answer.
It sounds right to me.
Yeah. I like this one. Just found out there's no popcorn in popcorn shrimp. Yes, there's no reason for me to try pot roast.
Unless you have an inclination to lick your backside, and then that might be a reason.
Yes. Okay. If Liar's pants really did catch on fire, watching the news would be a lot more fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, speaking of backsides, in 20 years, when kids ask about the 2020 toilet paper shortage, I'm telling them we had to drag our butts across the lawn, in the snow, uphill, both ways. Okay, you call it eating boxes of Girl Scout cookies alone. I call it supporting young female entrepreneurs. Here's my favorite.
Okay.
I asked my grandpa, after 65 years, you still call grandma darling, beautiful, and honey. What's the secret? He said, I forgot her name 5 years ago and I'm scared to ask her.
Oh, that's great. I like that too.
Those are good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing those with us.
I've got a ball of yarn I've got to tend to in just a minute.
Okay. Well, fortunately for you, I think we're coming down towards the end, right, Lisa? Thank
We
God.
are. We are at the birthday point. So will you go chase your yarn? I'll read the birthdays. So
Read 'em.
On Monday, we had John Novak. On Tuesday, we had Barbara Gustafson. Wednesday, we had Neil Shields and Robin Hedrick. Thursday, we had Bill Lemieux and Sharon Morris. And today, we have John Hayworth.
Oh, very good.
Yes. Saturday, Julia Clark, Bill Mowat, and Wiz Horner. And Sunday, on Valentine's Day, we have Madge Davenport.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Very good.
Very cool.
Happy birthday to all of you.
Happy birthday!
Okay. Staff members, Monday.
Wait a minute, Lisa. That's quite an improvement, Ken. I think I actually like that one.
Thank you. It's finally snowing.
Yeah.
So for our staff, on Monday, we had Doyle Batten in public safety. Tuesday, we had Harris Kahn in dining, Whitney Dewar in dining, and Johnny Hodge, public safety. On Wednesday, Lisa Tucker in nursing. On Thursday, we had Denise Alston in EVS. None today. Saturday, Andrew Farrell in nursing and Angela Marsh in nursing. And on Valentine's Day, on Sunday, Destiny Bach, resident services.
Destiny.
Yes, so very exciting.
You know, speaking of Destiny, I'll just share, I got a chance to talk to her for a little bit this week. And she's doing well over helping out with the nursing team, but she wanted to make sure that we shared with you all that she really misses you all and can't wait to come back at some point here when her services aren't needed over there. But we really have appreciated her going over and helping out over there. She's done a great job.
She has, yes. Okay, trivia winner.
Yes.
Okay.
Do we have a winner?
We do. So the question
Good.
today was from Dick Witt, and the prize is part of a wine bottle. And the question was, what U.S. state has a town where Wi-Fi is not allowed? The answer is West Virginia. Green Bank, West Virginia. It's home to Green Bank Observatory. The equipment used there is extremely sensitive to interference. So there's a 13,000 square mile quiet zone surrounding the observatory. I never knew that.
I didn't either.
Yeah. So that was a good did you know. Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. I never would have thought there'd be a town that would not have Wi-Fi.
I know.
That's great. That's weird.
Strange.
Huh.
So the winner today is Lou Insidious.
Ah, very good.
Yeah. Congratulations, Lou.
That's great. Okay, Lisa. I do have a little story to share. I think. You know, sometimes I do think you're alien. How appropriate.
I'm so alienated.
You know, you're going to give the residents nightmares when they start coming to see you. I might not get that image out of their mind.
Okay, I'm back to this.
Yeah, that might be better.
There you
It's a little easier to approach that one, I think. All right, so Ken, you sent this to me, and I thought it was a good one, so I'll just read this one. It says, an older gentleman was on the operating table awaiting surgery, and he insisted that his son, a renowned surgeon, perform the operation. As he was about to get the anesthesia, he asked to speak to his son. Yes, Dad, what is it? He said, don't be nervous, son. Do your best, and just remember, if it doesn't go well, if something happens to me, your mother is going to come and live with you and your wife.
I love it.
And they'll probably bring the kitty with them.
Probably.
Well, Lisa, this has been a little different doing it this way, the show.
It has, yes, yes. It's good for us to try new things.
Yeah, I'm sure that the residents are bored by the monotony of what we always do. So they certainly got a show today, thanks to Ken.
They sure did.
I want to know if there's any wine left in that bottle.
Not much. Not
Hey,
much.
go back to the cow, Ken. I think that's still my favorite one.
Is that your favorite? Okay, we can do that. Utterly predictable.
Now get close so we can see your eyes. There.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome.
Who knew?
So, you know, when you used to be preaching in front of a congregation, did you do this kind of stuff?
We didn't have this kind of stuff.
You didn't have cows back in those days?
Well, yeah, we had cows, but we didn't have the option of putting them on our faces.
Right.
It would have kept things moving.
Yes,
it would have. Oh, Lisa, I'm sure we lost everybody that was watching to the bitter end on that last one.
Yes, we're down to 2 viewers, I'm sure.
2 viewers, yeah. And it's Michelle and it's Brian,
That's
right?
That's right. Oh.
Well, unless you all have anything else, I think it's time to say goodbye. We hope you all have a great weekend. What a great week. What a great week with the knowledge that we all have our second vaccinations under us now, and that, you know, we hopefully it's going to put us in a position to really be protected from the coronavirus for an extended period of time. Let's hope that's the case. Be praying that's the case. To my 2 co-hosts, I want to say thank you, and great show today. But I just, we hope you all have a great weekend, and stay safe. And remember, we're not through it yet, so please remember the 3 W's still. We're going to keep staying safe for another week or so at this point, and then we can start looking at maybe doing some opening up. But please, please, please stay safe for the next week. All right.
I think we milked it for all it's worth.
I think you're right. With that, goodbye, and we love you.